If you're a fan of American politics, or just good political theater in general, there's a good chance you've seen House of Cards. If you haven't, I encourage all of you to pause this video and go binge watch all 5 seasons right now, because it is a truly incredible show. Frank especially is one of my favorite characters of all time, and you can see from this opening scene the exact kind of man Frank Underwood is.
There are 2 kinds of pain. Sort of pain that makes you strong, or useless pain. Sort of pain that's only suffering. I have no patience for useless things.
Frank is an anti-hero in every sense of the word. He is ruthless, unforgiving, relentless, and yet some part of you still can't help but root for him. No matter how many lines he crosses or how brutal his tactics become, there is still some part of you that wants to see the Underwoods win, no matter the cost. Now, part of this sympathy comes from the direct connection we have with the character. Kevin Spacey's fourth wall breaks are masterful.
Did you think I'd forgotten you? Perhaps you hoped I had.
The way he engages the camera directly brings you further into the experience. He takes away the feeling of being a passive observer and makes you complicit in every action he takes. And it's in these fourth wall breaks we get an inside look into the Machiavellian mind of Frank Underwood. So I thought it might be fun to take a look at some of Frank's strategies and see how they compare to our own president, Donald Trump.
You want the convention to be a circus.
Oh, Bob, I'm not sure if you've noticed or not, but politics is no longer just theater, it's show business. So let's put on the best show in town.
For all the things one could say about Donald Trump, there's one thing you can't deny. He knows how to put on a show.
Has ever hit my hands? I've never heard of this one. Look at those hands. Are they small hands? And he referred to my hands. If they're small, something else must be small. I guarantee you there's no problem. I guarantee.
Like Frank, Trump understood from the start that 10-point plans don't get people's attention. So instead, he took what he learned from his days on The Apprentice and brought it over to politics. He was outrageous, irreverent, funny. He did everything he could to keep the spotlight focused on himself, and he succeeded.
From the lion's den to a pack of wolves, when you're fresh meat, kill and throw them something fresher.
For as much as it benefited Trump to have the spotlight focused squarely on him, there were times where he needed to divert the focus elsewhere. In the wake of the Billy Bush tapes, Trump did as Frank suggested and found something fresher. Just moments before the presidential debate, he paraded out Bill Clinton's rape accusers before the press. Everyone knew it was a distraction, but they were forced to cover it anyway. And it's something Trump did time and time again throughout the campaign.
The road to power is paved with hypocrisy and casualties. Never regret.
No candidate in American history has endured as much controversy as Donald Trump. And yet, while most politicians would have held a press conference and apologized with their tail between their legs, Trump never backed down.
I hope you'll accept my apology, and I just want to give you the opportunity. Is there anybody you'd like to apologize to right now yourself?
No.
No?
For all the things Trump said, for all the things Trump did, apologies were virtually non-existent. Trump kept his head held high, confident in the belief that he did what was necessary, just like Frank.
They would have haunted me because it's all true.
What is?
Everything Lucas Goodwin claimed. I killed them both, just like he said I did. But of course, nobody believes it. And nobody ever will. Because that's how good we are at making things disappear.
No, we didn't kill anybody.
But we would have, if it was necessary. So you're right. The time for negotiations is over. You will hand over your delegates, and you will serve on in my cabinet. And we will forget that any of this ever happened. Because if you don't, I swear to God, I will never, ever forget. Do you understand now?
Okay, so I included this scene mostly because I think it's badass, but there is also important strategy here. Frank uses a blend of intimidation and unpredictability to get what he wants from Kathy. At one point, he laughs maniacally to break the tension, only to then threaten Kathy again. Right now, most pundits have their heads spinning as to what Trump's foreign policy is, often being described as erratic or incoherent. But I think a better theory is that Trump's implementing the Gaffney brand of diplomacy.
Shake with your right hand, but hold a rock in your left.
You can see this with the way Trump handles North Korea. On one hand, Trump calls Kim Jong-un a pretty smart cookie he would be honored to meet with. And on the other, he makes it clear he's willing to use the might of the US military should things not go his way. And given Trump's actions in Syria, Kim Jong-un probably knows Trump is not afraid to use that rock in his left hand if need be.
Two things are now irrelevant. Donald Blythe and Donald Blythe's new draft. Eventually I'll have to rewrite the bill myself. Forward, that is the battle cry. Leave ideology to the armchair generals. Does me no good.
Perhaps the thing these men share the most is their passion for pragmatism.
I don't change. Well, I do change. And I am flexible, and I'm proud of that flexibility. And I will tell you that
Trump prides himself on his flexibility, and time again he has shown he'll change his mind as he sees fit. When it comes right down to it, these two men value action and progress above all else. The direction of that progress is less relevant. House of Cards is great at drawing exaggerated parallels between the show's reality and our own. And the relationship between Frank Underwood and Donald Trump is no different. Both men pride themselves on their pragmatism. Both men project strength and refuse to show weakness. And both men implement a forceful persuasion as their tool of choice. But perhaps what is more interesting than the similarities between these two strong men is what it says about us, that we can't seem to stop watching them.